Yeah, welcome back to DXB today. Hope you're enjoying our equestrian special today as we take a deep dive and a closer look at the equestrian setup here in Dubai. More and more people, of course, getting onto horseback, and that is good news. Our next guest is none other than a UAE show jumper who made history by qualifying for the Olympic Games, no less. Please welcome Abdullah Al Marri. Abdullah, great to have you with us.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Let's talk about Abdullah's story as well. I'm assuming, much like Alice was saying, probably born on a horse or born around horses. Tell me that point that you realised, okay, yeah, I know horses, I love being on a horse, but I want to turn this into a career rather than just a hobby.
Actually, to start it, I was actually a tennis player initially.
And
then I realized I'm too short to win any tennis matches, and eventually went to horse riding. And I have to say I was very lucky in my career. I fell into the right training and coaches in the right time. Obviously, Alice, we have 14-year relationship as my trainer.
Wow.
So she actually explained to me for the first time how far you can get in a sport. Being obviously living in Europe and her American background helped a lot. And you could say, drew the line or my pathway in a way to achieve luckily the great things we did for our country.
So what age do you actually first get onto a horse?
17 years old. So
wow.
Yeah, I was quite late into the sport. But I was luckily an athlete. My father made sure we played every sport in a way, being competitive, sore losers, obviously. So wherever we started the sport, we tried to win as much as we can. And I have to say, I loved horses. I think it's a language that not many can speak. Like Alice explained, it's about the feelings, understanding the horse. Obviously, they don't speak back. You have to understand them by the feeling. And it's a pathway where every single horse has its own identity. It's a relationship that only would grow by spending more time with them. As much as you spend time with them while you're riding, also outside the riding space, it's very important to take them out, get to know them, and then eventually you create that bond that eventually becomes matched.
Amazing.
Alice?
Abdullah, you made history as part of the first Olympic team for the UAE. How did that feel?
Oh, to be honest, what made it actually quite special, we tried to qualify as a team initially 4 years before Paris, and we unfortunately were not successful, which made the joy when we qualified to Paris even greater for us. We knew that the UAE, as you said, have been greatly successful in every field in equestrianism. And endurance, they've been leading the sport for so many years, obviously racing, and beauty also with horses. So for us, carrying that, let's say, flag when it comes to show jumping, we wanted to represent the UAE in the highest sport and highest level. And obviously the Olympics is the pinnacle for us. So it was a great achievement to go there in Paris. Obviously the experience was special, but hopefully the next stop is LA. Hopefully we qualify and get some medals around our necks.
Amazing. Abdullah, I want to first of all say congratulations, because you were in Al Ain this weekend, 3rd place, I believe.
Yes,
and then you came with the young horses, 2nd place and 9th place, one of which is a homebred horse as well.
Exactly.
So congratulations for that.
Thank you so much.
I'm really interested to know, what is the preparation for these amazing competitions, obviously, like with the Grand Prix or with the Olympics? Like, what is the preparation for you mentally and physically, and also for your horse?
I think the main thing when it comes to any sport, you have to actually compete at the highest level before performing at certain championships. Like the Olympics comes only every 4 years. Asian Games, same thing. I mean, these Grand Prix we're doing, we have a certain season where we're exposed to them nearly on monthly basis. But the difficulty would be actually competing against the best riders in the world. And when you put yourself in those environments more, you will actually see how your level is. So it's very important to actually point your program on being competitive at the highest level in order to achieve great things. But also, when we have to see, as Alice mentioned earlier, the horse is the athlete also. So you actually have to put a program that works depending on the physique of your horses, even their mental capabilities. You know, you don't extremely ask difficult questions all the time. You actually build them up in the right way. And hopefully then when everything comes in the right way, you end up having these great results.
Because as a rider, it's not just about you having the confidence. You need to build the confidence up in the horse as well. Like with the younger classes, you don't start jumping like 160 with the young horses straight away. You slowly start building them up. So it's about giving them as much confidence as that you need as a rider as well.
Exactly. I mean, I'll give a quick comparison. When it comes to racing, I believe horses race by 2 years old. For us, the foundation only starts at 4 years old, and it's a very long process, a little bit like school with kids. You know, you have to go through kindergarten, grade 1, really, and it takes, you know, you can't compete with the horse in the Olympics unless they're 10 years old.
Yeah.
So it's a very long process to educate these horses in the right way, give them the best experiences in order to perform at a higher level.
Because that's the prime age, isn't it? Around 11 for a show jumping horse. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
It's fascinating what we're learning. I wanted to ask you actually, because I know we're a little tight on time, but you've touched on your father and getting you into sports, but I know you speak very openly and warmly about the full support you have from your whole family besides just your actual training team. Tell us a little bit more about that.
yeah, I have to say, like my parents, in a great way, shaped my career to start. But at the moment, my wife is definitely my biggest supporter. She's with me every step of the way. We built our stable together at the moment, and she obviously take care of my kids the whole time, because as equestrians and athletes would know, there's a big sacrifice. We're nearly 6 months of the year out of the country. We're competing every weekend, where everyone get to spend the weekends with their family. So that sacrifice is never actually underrated from my side, but it's something that they have to go through. I rarely see my parents, you know, and they always complain. Obviously, we're competing on weekly basis, but it's something that makes that relationship, you know, in order to achieve great things, there has to be sacrifice from the whole family, and you know, they appreciate what we do eventually. My father is quite critical when I don't win, you know, but in a positive way. So it's also having those standards of pleasing them the whole time.
It must have been an adjustment to understand, to bring along a show jumper properly, that you shouldn't win every single day. That's one of the things I had to teach my riders, was that you can't try to win every single day, because it can actually ruin a horse's future career. And I think that was something that we had to adjust to, not trying to win every single day like you would in tennis or you would in a running race.
Interesting mindset shift.
The horses have to be educated properly, and that sometimes pushing them too fast, too far, can damage their career. And Abdullah understood that very, very well early on, to understand the long game of training horses.
Yeah, you need some kind of discipline when it comes to this, because obviously you see your fellow colleagues trying to win every weekend, but like Alice said, there's always a bigger picture when it comes to bigger achievements, and we truly believe there are certain events that actually become more memorable, winning medals, winning Grand Prix. And she taught me in an early age that that's the bigger picture. That's what people will remember in your career. That's what you're going to reflect on when you retire. So there's always something that you're going to work on a bigger scale.
Abdullah, very quickly, since I've got you on the sofa here, what would be your top tip for somebody that is just getting into show jumping here in the region? What advice would you give them to build their show jumping career?
A couple of things. I think go to people who have the knowledge. I think that's an easy thing. You know, whenever.
Do we think Hadi has the knowledge? Because
Yeah,
you know Hadi, my trainer.
Hadi does.
Does he have the knowledge?
Yes. I truly believe it's like sending your kids to a school that doesn't have qualified teachers. So the qualification of the teachers is very important, and always build a very good foundation. I think the foundation is something that you could build on when it comes to building a normal building or anything. I truly believe like the foundation is something you can scale from. So someone who would